Hello, everyone. It's Annette Anthony, your Vice President for Technology Engagement at Exit Realty Corp International. I am so excited that you decided to join us here today. This topic is really special, and one of the reasons why I gravitate towards this topic is because I'm a natural solver, right? Like I love to see things how they work. I love to see who can benefit from whatever it is. How does it solve pain points? It's kind of like a puzzle, right? Just like the image that you see here with all the puzzle pieces. I, one of the most important things to think about with a puzzle is, what do you need in order to start completing your puzzle, right? You need the picture of the actual finished product of the puzzle, right? That image. Some of you, when you do puzzles and you work them together, maybe you start with the edges, right? To get the puzzle, you've got the framework, but it's what's in the middle that's really important. And you can't really complete your puzzle until you have that full picture of what it is that you want to complete. So it's the big picture. And here's what I have for you today is we're going to put together this conversation about meaningful engagement. And it's like a puzzle, if you will, but I'm going to give you some large puzzle pieces, not the 1,000 piece where they're really small and you need lots of pieces to put it together, but pieces that are going to help you wrap this all together in a bow. And the conversation that we're going to tackle is meaningful engagement. Now, there's 4 areas of engagement that we're going to focus on. We're going to talk about the contacts in your database. I know many of you have CRM systems, and it's just packed full with just names, phone numbers, email addresses, and so on, but really no sense of purpose, okay? Just a big collection of people's information. But then you also have social connections. You have people that you know in real life. And you also have your real estate sphere, which we don't talk too much about real estate sphere, but we're going to have a conversation about it today. So this statement here that you see on the screen is one that speaks very closely to me. And it's one that I learned when I became a certified mentor for Buffini and Company many years ago, but it's still incredibly applicable today. And that's this: 18 touches in a 12-month period earns you 2 referrals for every 12 people you know. Now, I want you to let that statement sink in for a moment. I highlighted 18 touches, and the reason I did so is because 18 touches, and we're gonna talk more about that. It's all the invested time and effort that you're putting into making meaningful connections with people that you know. And if you did 18 touches throughout a 12-month period, you're going to earn yourself 2 referrals for every 12 people you know. Now, you don't need thousands of people, that's for sure. But let's dive a little deeper into this topic, because meaningful engagement means nothing if you're not motivated by what the potential could be, what the potential in value can mean for you. Okay, so let's work through this. Now, when we talk about people, there's people you know, and we already talked a little bit about in the beginning the types of people that we're going to connect with. So you know people in your database, you know people on social media, you also know people that you're connecting with day in and day out, and also you're networking with real estate agents in your community. So how do we make it meaningful, right? How do we kind of guesstimate the value? So let's talk about that. Let's discuss in detail what the potential value can mean for you. And when I say value, there's a lot of people that you're coming in contact with. And we can't ignore the possibility of the referral business that they could be sending you if you stayed in consistent touch with those individuals. So let's do a little bit of a math, right, sequence so that you can understand what the value is. How do we come up with the value? And then the best part is, how do we help you determine what the value of your database is? Because once you understand the value of the relationships that you are gathering, and you're going to see very clearly that 18 touches really isn't that much. It's not a lot of effort. You're doing it already, probably, but not intentional until today. So let's talk about the math. First of all, let's just say, for example, you know 250 people, which I know you know 250 people. So you take the 250 people, okay, and then you divide that number by 12. Because if you remember in the statement, we said for every 12. So you take 250, you divide it by 12, and you come up with the number 20.8333. Let's just say 21. Can we agree with that? So we're going to say 21 people. So if we took 250 people, you divide it by 12, you've got 21 people who will absolutely say, yes, I'm going to send you business. And when we say 21 people, we're going to, that each of those people are going to give you 2 referrals, because remember we said for every 12, you can earn 2. So you take those 21 people and you multiply it by 2, which equals 42 referrals. Can you imagine? What would your business look like for the rest of this year with 42 referrals? Well, it would be astounding, wouldn't it? You certainly wouldn't have to work that hard. It's 250 people that we're talking about here. 42 referrals is life-changing. So let's say you say that the average commission in your market is $9,000, okay? So for each check, $9,000, you want to multiply that amount by the number of referrals that you could expect to earn. That was 42. So 42 multiplied by 9,000, and here's what your value basically is of the 250 people here. It's 378,000. That's an amazing number, right? So I want to provide you with the tools that you need so that you can discover what the value is of your database, okay? So here's what I need you to do. I need you to come up with the number of people that you know. Now, many of you might have CRM systems, and you could probably easily tell how many contacts you have in your database. That's easy. But then there's the contacts in your phone number, right? In your phone. There's contacts in files. There's contacts in social media. So you need to determine what is the total number of people that you know. And then what you need to do is put that number up at the top, and then you need to divide that number by 12. That will give you the number of people who will send you referrals. Once you take that number of people who will deliver you referrals, you need to multiply it by 2, because remember we said for every 12 you can expect 2, or you'll be earning 2 referrals. You'll get the number of total referrals there. And then you need to figure out what is the average commission in your market, and you need to write that number there. And then of course you take the number of referrals and you multiply that by your average commission, and that's going to deliver you the total number of your database, total number of the people that you know. It's going to be life-changing. And what's really important is you need to figure out what that total number is. What is that dollar amount? Because once you see it, you're certainly not going to continue to treat your database the way that you have over the years. Instead, you're going to say, wow, this is life-changing. The amount of value here, the amount of money you could be making if you kept in regular touch. Now, here's what I'd love for you to do. I'd love for you to send me an email. I want to know what the value of your database is, because it's going to be big. It is. It's going to be unbelievable. I want you to determine the number of people that you know, divide it by 12 to give you the number of total people who will send you referrals, and then multiply it by 2, because each of those individuals is going to give you 2 referrals. I want to know what your total number of referrals is, and then your average commission, and then multiply that by the number of referrals that you're going to expect. It's incredible. So let's dive in, because we've got those multiple areas to focus on. So first on deck, we're going to talk about the contacts in your CRM. Now, what should give you the sense of urgency, now that you know the value, is taking a fresh look at your CRM and looking at your contacts information. You're going to discover that a lot of your people, you don't have all of their information. So that is a great reason to reach out, to grab your mobile device, right? Connect with those individuals, make those phone calls, and just say, hey, you are one of my valued people in my database, and I notice that I don't have all your important information. That's a great reason to reach out to your database, to go fill in those gaps where you know are pieces of information that can really help you. And when I say complete contact information, what are we talking about here? We're talking about first names, last names, email addresses, mailing addresses. We're talking about, hobbies. What do they do for a living? That's a big one. Also, their spouse. What's their spouse's name? Do they have kids? Do they have pets? Do they have certain interests, right? Those are really important pieces of information that you can leverage. How about birthdays? How about their wedding anniversary? All of those things are really important. So make sure that you fill in those gaps by reaching out to your database to collect their basic contact information. And then the next thing is to figure out, are you also connected to them on social? And I would suspect that the majority of the contacts that you have in your database are nowhere near, they're not anywhere connected with you on social, wherever you are socially gregarious, right, on social media. So that's an opportunity for you to also send out friend requests, send out connection requests to connect with your people. Because social media is going to give you just a wealth of information about what interests them that you can leverage. So we'll continue to talk about that. And then, of course, in your CRM, it's a behavior to do daily, and that is to add new people, to update their contact information, and also to delete people daily, right? Because there's going to be people in your database that will never do business with you. It's okay, it's actually empowering to delete them from your database so that you can focus on the people that you do want to do business with. So let's continue. We talked about the 18 touches, right, in that first statement. And that might seem like that's a lot of touches, Annette. And I want to tell you that, like I said, you're probably already doing most of these already, but you're not doing them intentionally. But by identifying 18 opportunities, I know that you're going to discover additional ways that you aren't connecting that's going to make for a meaningful connection. So let's talk about those. So I've broken these down into sections, right? So the first four, can you make a phone call? Yes. One of the best apps that you can ever be using is the phone app. It's where you make a phone call, people get to hear your voice, they can connect with you personally. The phone call is the best way to connect with people. The second is a text message, right? Because text messages are almost at 100% open rate. So text messages are a great way to connect with people. That's a great touch. There's also an opportunity for you to post something inspirational on their Facebook timeline. Are they going to see it? You bet. So a Facebook post would be great. What about a holiday card? And I'm not talking about your typical Christmas or Thanksgiving or, 4th of July. I'm talking about those unique holidays that they might not expect. Could you sprinkle in a holiday card here and there to catch them where they might be surprised and delighted by your meaningful engagement? Yeah, you bet. Let's talk about a few more. So, mobile business card, right? Every exit associate is provided a fantastic mobile business card that they can share with your client. Is that a touch? It is. And it's a great way to connect because not always, I'm grabbing a business card right here. Not always are you able to hand someone your business card, but you are most certainly able to share with them your mobile business card, which is a great way for them to connect with you. So that's definitely a touch. A birthday card or purchase anniversary, great ways to stay connected. That's a touch. There's also instant message. Now, I love instant message, especially when it's sending an audio message. I love that. That's using your mobile device. You could just simply go into instant message, hold down the little microphone, and you can deliver a message that just lets someone know, hey, I hope you're having a great day. I was thinking about you, and we should talk on the phone soon. That's it. They get to hear your voice, which is that a touch? Yeah, definitely in the 18 touches. How about a handwritten note? Of course, a great touch. Now, what I do here at my office, and I'm grabbing all my essentials, is with me within arm's length. Okay, I don't have to go to the other part of the room to get this. Right here at my desk, I have handwritten notes at any given time. I've got all the essentials that I need, a business card, a handwritten note, an envelope, and stamps at any given time to send a handwritten note. Is that a great touch? Yes, absolutely. Let's continue because I've got 18 of them for you. What about the Exit Realty Connect app? Could you share your app with the consumer? The answer is absolutely, because then it gives them the opportunity to search. They can refer information or they can refer a friend to you. They can see information about your office. So many great things, and it's branded to you, which is great. What about a thank you for your support video? Okay, this one's kind of out of the box, but a huge home run every time. What if you did a simple video that lets an individual know how much you appreciate their support? Would that catch them off guard? Absolutely. Would that like get them right in the feels? Every time. So just a simple video, just being yourself and saying, hey, I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you. That could be a video to your spouse, or if you're not married, to your significant other. That could be to an adult son or daughter. It could be to a friend, a family member, a past client, an agent that you did a deal with. Is that a great touch? Absolutely. How about a business tip? A business tip is a great touch. And if you think about the individuals in your database, are some of those individuals entrepreneurs? You bet they are. And would they appreciate a business tip that you're learning? Absolutely. So never think about, just keeping those tips to yourself, right? You want to think about the information that I'm learning daily. Could that impact someone in my database? Yes, a business tip would be fantastic and a great touch when we're considering those 18 touches. And then what about a video asking for referrals? Such a great way to engage in a meaningful way, because people will be able to see in your sincerity, right? It's not a text message that says, hey, I'd really appreciate a referral, but it's a video that says, hey, in case I haven't told you lately, I would love a referral of anyone you know who has questions about real estate. Let me know. I'm never too busy. Would that be a great video to share? Absolutely. And they'll get to see your enthusiasm. So that's a fantastic touch that you can include. Okay, these four, and then I got two more for you. What about sending your exit digital guide? So at Exit, we provide all of our agents with a digital seller guide, a buyer guide, or a sponsoring presentation. And it's leveraged through the Exit Realty Connect app. Great way for you to connect, because not only do you have your phone in hand almost all the time, but so does your potential contact, right? So you can definitely send them your digital presentations, and it's always branded to you, which is great. What about an education update? So whether you're listening to a webinar like you are right now, our Techinar, or you learn something at your office, like a great something, a tip for your education, your knowledge of what you're learning, could you share that knowledge with people in your contact list, in your CRM? Absolutely. And what it does is it shows that you're learning, that you're constantly evolving. Let them know, hey, I just learned something really interesting. I was in a class, or I was getting my CE certification, whatever that is. Let them know that you're learning. People love to work with agents who constantly learn and grow. Don't forget that. What about a book that you've were recently recommended? Now, recently, one of our regional owners, Rick DeLuca, I'm reaching for it, he posted a video about this book called Do the Work, and I immediately ordered it on Amazon. So it came delivered to my house, and I love the book. And so is that something that you can do with your contact list? Recommend them a book that you're reading? Absolutely. How about acknowledge a post that they shared on social by commenting? So I love that. And we'll get more into when we talk about your social connections. But I love to pick up the phone when somebody posts something on social that is something that they're really excited about or they're concerned about. It gives me an opportunity to say, oh, I should pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, I noticed you posted about something important, and I just wanted to talk with you about it and see how you're doing or congratulate you. Is that a touch? Yeah, it's a great touch. So either by picking up the phone or commenting, it's a great way to show meaningful engagement. Okay, just a couple more. How about a real estate update, but from your perspective? Now, what I see is agents delivering stats of what's going on, which is great. But if you also share your interpretation and what are you excited about with regards to those stats, would that be a great touch? Absolutely. And it shows your personality, it shows your excitement. So that would be a good one. And then finally, what about a podcast recommendation? There's some really good podcasts out there, podcasts that you're leveraging to learn. Could others learn also? Yeah. So make sure to include a podcast recommendation to your contacts in your CRM. So that right there is 18 touches. And I know that you probably have a lot of other unique touches that you can add to this, which is awesome. So this is just gives you an idea that you're probably already doing many of these, but you're not doing them intentionally. And certainly maybe you're not tracking that you're doing these, so you need to put that back that you did it into your CRM in your notes. So definitely don't vanish from your contacts, right? You want to engage with your CRM on a daily basis with all the contacts in your CRM daily. And when I say practice makes, and then you fill in the blanks, what is that? Practice makes, and people always say perfect, and that's not, practice makes perfect. No, practice makes permanent. And what I mean by that is it's like breathing. You don't even have to think about it. Okay. Practice makes permanent. So it's the behavior of going into your CRM and connecting with your contacts daily creates that consistency. And when you block that time, it's really, really important. We'll talk about that in just a second. But one of the things that I learned from our now co-chair of Exit Realty Corp International, Tammy Bonnell, is the significance of a 6-week action plan. It's where you block off an afternoon in your calendar to then focus on what's ahead for the next 6 weeks and how can you make your next 6 weeks of appointments and calls and meetings and Zooms even more impactful. That's the opportunity for you to really dig into your contacts. What information don't you have? What information can you learn about them that's going to make the time that you spend with them, that scheduled time, even more meaningful? Well, the 6-week action plan can definitely do that. So schedule yourself that afternoon off to work on your business every 6 weeks. So impactful. But you know what? It's got to be in your calendar, because if it's not in your calendar, it's just a wish. Like, I don't do anything in my life that doesn't involve it in my calendar. It could even be a lunch date with my husband. Sounds crazy though, doesn't it? And the reason is because you want to make sure those important things go in your calendar so that they get accomplished, so that they get done, they get the attention that it deserves. A calendar, your calendar is super important, and all those events are really important to track those in your calendars as well. Okay, let's now focus on your social circles. Okay, social circles is a great opportunity, and I want to share with you a strategy that I love doing daily. And you're probably already doing something similar to this, but again, it might not be intentional. You might just haphazardly be doing this, but when you become intentional, then you're really making a meaningful engagement. So it's what I call the 8 by 8 a.m. And there's a lot of different variations of this, but the strategy is this, is that you connect with 8 people by 8 a.m. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about that. First of all, you want to set up a timer, because social media is a time suck, right? Where you're in and all of a sudden you just kind of lose track of time. So you want to set a timer, because it's not about, first of all, you don't want to lose your time. So make it count. Set your timer for 15 minutes, no more than that. The next thing you want to do is find 8 social connections on whatever platforms you use. Now, I'm a big fan of reminding you that you don't have to be on every social media platform. You know that, right? You don't have to be everywhere just because other people are in different places. Be where you are the most comfortable. That is where people will see your true, authentic self, and that's a great thing. So go and find 8 people that you can really dig into. And here's what I want you to do with those connections. First of all, I'm going to give you lots of things that you can do. And I'm not suggesting that you do all of these things with that one person. No, I'm saying that here are lots of different opportunities that you can do with 8 people. Okay, do one thing per person. So for example, comment on a post. Don't just like it. I call that lurking, when you just like and you don't say anything about why you were inspired to like it. So comment on a post. That's a big one. And then also share their post with your audience if it's applicable. Like, if it's something really personal to them, you don't want to share it on your timeline. Does that make sense? But if they're posting, maybe they got an award and you want to post it on your timeline to say, hey, look what my colleague accomplished. This is really great. I'm super proud of her. That's great too. Okay. So you can absolutely share their post with your audience. That's really great. You also can share a post on their timeline. So it could be something that they're passionate about. So if they're passionate about fitness, maybe it's something about goal setting and fitness, or it's something fitness related, or if they love pets, you can post something about their pet, or it could just be inspirational. There's so many great inspirational quotes. You don't even have to think about it. And it's super easy to just post something, or even a picture. Even a picture of the two of you would be great. You can also tag them in a post. So if it's a post that you know, hey, I know that they love this topic, post, make your post and then tag them on the post, because they'll get notified that they were tagged in a post. They'll be able to look at it and comment and have some meaningful engagement with you on that post. Another, we talked a little bit about this, is sending them an instant message. Your social circles will love this, because an instant message is that you could just send them a message, they're going to get it, it goes right to them personally. But you can also, as I mentioned, send them an audio clip. So for those of you who are still pretty intimidated with video, okay, the audio clip is great because they get to hear your voice, and that's really special. Also, what you can do with regards to your 8 by 8 a.m. is accept friend requests. That's definitely, you can connect with 8 new people that you haven't already connected with. Make sure though that you have some commonalities with these 8 people, right? You have the same friends, you have the same likes, interests, okay? Before you actually connect with them as a friend. Also, ask for introductions. That's a great 8 by 8 a.m. Okay, that's a great strategy where you can ask them, someone that you already know that you're connected with. Maybe they know someone that you've been really excited about getting to know. Ask them for an introduction, and I'm sure that they will. That's a great, one of the great things that you can do on social. Also, find things that you have in common. So if they have kids in school, work-life balance is a challenge sometimes. So perhaps, share a post about work-life balance and tag them on it, or ask them, hey, how do you deal with work-life balance? And you can comment on, certainly acknowledging, how do you do it? You're able to take care of your kids, and you volunteer, and you have a great career. Share with me your secrets. They love to be identified as someone who is doing a good job, or they're doing their best. They love to see that. And they'll of course share what it is that they're doing to be successful. And then most importantly, you want to add all of these things that you're learning about your social connections in your CRM. And that points to what we talked about earlier with your contacts not being in social, okay? Not being connected with you on social. Consider that you probably have quite a few of your social connections that you're connected with, and you've been connected with for some time, but they're not actually in your CRM. So you definitely want to take that individual, put them in your CRM, and then make sure that you fill in all those gaps of information that you don't have about them, like their mailing address, right? Maybe their phone number, the names of their spouse or their kids or their interests. You'll definitely want to add all that information in your CRM. Another thing that you can do on social so that you can be visible is you can demonstrate connecting to your Exit mobile business card. Now, here's what I know. When I've seen our Exit associates demonstrate their mobile business card on social, what is pretty amazing about it is that their audience, okay, when you do it on video and you talk about how you can connect with their mobile business card, your audience will do exactly what you tell them to do. So when you just get on video and you tell your audience, hey, I would love for you to check out my mobile business card, you walk them through on how they can check it out. So you tell them to go to their text messaging app. You tell them to compose a brand new text message. The number up at the top will be 85377. In the body of the message, you tell them what your vanity code is, and they'll do exactly that. And what they're going to get in response is they're going to get access to your mobile business card, which is pretty awesome. And by demonstrating your mobile business card and how to get to it on social, your audience is going to engage with you with your mobile technology, which is great. You want to do that. You also, with your mobile business card, did you know you have the ability of sharing your QR code. You've got a QR code to your mobile business card. So right here on the screen, in fact, I would love if each of you would take your mobile device and hover the QR code, open up your camera on your mobile device and hover it over the QR code that you see on the screen. When you do, you'll see the URL. Just click on the URL. It's going to take you to my mobile business card. Again, super smart technology, okay? To get your QR code so you know, in the Exit Realty Connect app, it's actually there. You'll just go to my business card. When you click on my business card, you'll see the button that says mobile business card QR code, and there it is. So you've got this. It's unique to you, just as unique as you are. A great QR code that you can use in your marketing. Just remember that when people are using QR codes to connect with your mobile business card, it doesn't behave the same way as them texting your vanity code to the number 85377. Okay, so when they text your vanity code to 85377, you'll actually be delivered, right, their mobile number. With a QR code, it's a little different in that they're opening up their camera, so there's no way for you to get their mobile number. So I want you to be aware of that. But it is a great way for them to connect with you. I love taking my QR code and putting it on, you could put it on the face of your smartwatch. So smart, right? So people can connect with you on the go. I love this because when they actually scan it, they're with me. And then I can make sure as they're looking at my mobile business card that I tell them, now download my contact information into the contacts of your phone. So smart, but demonstrate this on social. Provide the QR code so that they can connect with you. It's an innovative way for them to connect. Also, make sure that you share timely digital presentations. And when I'm speaking about this, we're still continuing to talk about your social audience. Listen to the clues that they're posting about, whether they're decluttering or they're remodeling or they're just cramped spaces and they need more room. Maybe you need to share a seller guide. Maybe you need to share a buyer guide. These are great resources that you have in the Exit Realty Connect app. So be mindful when you're doing your 8 by 8 a.m. that you listen for clues and that you provide a seller guide or a buyer guide. Such great ideas. Okay, let's continue. So social scheduling, let's talk about consistency, right? Because we know, just like the contacts in your CRM, consistency is super important. There's also the opportunity to create a content calendar. So you can easily separate each month and determine a theme for each month. And then you can have a certain topic a week to discuss every week. That makes it easy. But you can automate your posts. So we have a great relationship with social media giant Facebook with our Exit Ad Center, and the ability to automate your posts is so good because then it's out of sight, out of mind, essentially. Where it's that one more thing on your list to do, it's already taken care of for you through the Exit Ad Center. So consider that. And be mindful when you're posting on social, right? That it's social media, not selling media. So when you're on social, you definitely want to be social, not have the heavy voice of selling all the time, but really showing people what kind of person are you and what would it be like to do business with you. Okay, keep that in mind. Now let's talk a little bit about the next audience. This is the people in real life. Now what's exciting is that people are getting back to in person. Not everybody yet, but we're getting there. And it's exciting to be face to face once again. And it's important to really connect with individuals, and we can't miss the opportunity to ask them this very important question. If they had someone, maybe if they had questions about real estate, do they have someone that they trust to go to? That's a great question to ask. Again, if they had questions about real estate, or maybe they know someone who does, do they have someone they go to that they trust to answer those questions? Ask people in real life that question, and you're going to find that most people, maybe at one point they used to have someone they go to, but they don't anymore. And then that's an opportunity for you to definitely connect with them and say, yeah, I want to be that person. I want to be your go-to advisor to help you when you do have questions, or when you run into someone who has questions. I want to be able to share your information with that individual so that you can help them. So important. And oftentimes we just assume that They already have someone that they go to, so we don't ask the question. So you definitely want to be bold in 2022 and take the position of, I don't know the answer to this question, so I need to ask it for complete transparency, right? The next thing you want to do is make sure that you're feeding your CRM with important details about the person. When you're having these in-person meetings, there's a lot of great conversation that comes from that. There's a lot of clues, whether it's their interests or their goals or their dreams. It's important to add that information into your CRM so that you don't forget them. So that the next time you meet up face to face, you can recall important talking points of the conversation you had when you were face to face. And then the other thing that's really important is to set up reminders, which is super important. Remember, we talked about the calendar. In your CRM, having the ability to create follow-up reminders so that you can go back to that individual and follow up with them, see how they're doing since the last time you got together in person. It's certainly going to make them feel like, man, I feel important. I feel like this person actually really cares. Now, there's additional things that you can do for your people in real life is to share information. So our Exit Realty Connect app is designed for our exit associates to run their business through mobile, which is amazing. But every associate also has the ability of sharing their Exit Realty Connect app, their branded app, with their clients as well. So when you're face to face, it's really important that you give people the ability to connect with your mobile business card because it gives them the ability, excuse me, it gives them the ability to do what they love. They love to search. They have all your contact information. They can see their saved properties. They can also send a referral, which they love to do. And they can also share your app with other people that they know that you can help. And it also gives them the ability to share their app so they can merge their data with other Exit Realty app users, which is a wonderful thing. So if you have a spouse, if you have two spouses together and they want to share each other's what they're saving, what properties are searching, what properties are saving, they're able to collaborate together by merging the data, which is really great. So when you're together face to face, make sure that you're sharing your Exit Realty Connect app and make sure, importantly, that they connect with you as the exit agent so that their app is branded to you every time. Very important. Another thing to think about for your connections in real life, okay, the people that you're meeting up with, remember the 8x8 strategy. Could you include them in the 8x8? Absolutely. You can definitely spend a couple minutes to see if you're connected with them and peek into what they're doing in their daily lives. What are they posting about? What are they most interested in? And also you can expand your social circles, right, with these real life people that you're meeting, because chances are when you see them in real life, a connection, right, who's not in your social media circle, expand your circle. Who's not in your CRM, expand your CRM with more meaningful people. And of course, as you know, adding their detailed information daily in the CRM is super important. Okay, here's the last group that really isn't talked about too often, and that is your real estate sphere. These are individuals that you see out there in the industry. They're attending conferences just like you. They go to networking events. You see them all the time. They are getting designations just like you. They go to showings. You're doing transactions with them. This is your real estate sphere. You see them out in the industry. You see them on social media. They're crushing it. You see them everywhere. What are you doing with those connections? It's time for you to definitely start building your own sphere for sure. But you want to clarify what your intention is, right? Your intention to build a sphere, obviously for referrals, absolutely. You want to make sure to let them know, hey, I'm building my sphere of realtors. You're certainly not building a sphere of realtors to recruit. Because if you said, hey, I'm building a sphere of realtors so I can recruit them, they're gone, right? They're going to be far away from you as possible. But when you're building a sphere of a sphere of realtors where you can add value to them and they in turn will naturally want to add value to you, is that a good thing? It's a great thing. And it's even better when you're creating this sphere and you're growing it organically. So great. So make sure that you clarify what your intention is. Hey, I'm just putting a group of people together, people that I know, like, and trust in the real estate community. I want to grow. I want to learn from them. I want to provide what I'm learning them in turn. So good. And then I want you to, just like you would a regular contact, make sure that you have complete contact information for these realtors, who they work for, their mailing address, their email address, their phone number, the name of their spouse. Because don't sometimes you meet them and you meet their spouses, and it's kind of nice to get to know them, their kids, what their interests are. Are those all good things to know about your realtors and your realtor sphere? Yeah, it's really important to know because you get to know them as a person, because that's what they are, right? So make sure you collect as much information as possible and you put them into a special group in your database. Here's the big one. You got to know what and where they specialize. So what do they specialize in? Do they specialize in condo living? Do they specialize in horse properties? Do they specialize in working with rentals, commercial, you name it? There's so many different type of agents, because what if you had a referral to share? That would be amazing. What if they live in areas where right now people are absolutely, there's great opportunity for homes, for people to buy homes in. Would that be great to know realtors in that area? Absolutely. So what they specialize in, so important. And where do they specialize? Knowing what designations, is that important? Absolutely. Because you want to know, hey, when I'm working with someone, they've got complete information online, they've got designations, or they really know their stuff. They specialize in certain things that I know I can feed them referrals and they're going to take great care of them. That's building that real estate sphere, so important. Now, there's things that you can do with the your sphere of influence in real estate, and that is the 18 touches. Do you think, think about that for a second. We talked about the 18 touches for your contacts in your database, right? Do you think that the 18 touches would apply, that strategy would apply there for your real estate sphere? And I would suspect that your answer is probably yeah. That if you had a sphere of realtors, that let's say 250 of them, wow, would that be an amazing goal to have 250 agents throughout all of North America or the world, right? Real estate sales professionals with their complete contact information, people that you actually met, you know them, they know you, in a database. How amazing would that be? That if you connected with them 18 times throughout the year, what could you expect? You could expect 2 referrals for every 12 of those real estate agents in that real estate sphere. How amazing is that? I think it's pretty amazing. So don't discount the fact that you can't do the same strategy. You actually can. You can definitely do the 18 touches strategy with your real estate sphere, which is really exciting. What about social media, right? Should you socially connect with them there too? The answer is resounding yes, because it gives you the ability to really lean into those agents, right? Who they are as a person, what drives them, what motivates them, what are they learning, where are they going, where are they networking? So good. Could you also share, for example, here's some other resources. Could you share with that real estate sphere this text code? When you share Exit TV, right? When you text it to 85377, guess what your real estate sphere would get? It would get our YouTube channel. And as of today, it's February 2022, there's 51 videos that those agents would be able to tap into to learn. Is that a good thing to share with your real estate sphere? Absolutely. How about the realestateindustryleaders.com blog? Is that a great place to send your real estate sphere? And the answer is yes, because we're really beefing up our content for consumers, which is exciting. Go check it out. We also have our Spirit of Exit, and there's a lot of agents out there, you know who they are, who give back to their community. They certainly love hearing when other agents like you, exit associates, who also give back in your community, and our Spirit of Exit program is just so powerful. Would they benefit from learning some of the things that Exit does there with your real estate sphere? Would they appreciate that? Answer is absolutely. Well, what about the text code Think Residuals? Because sometimes those real estate agents in your sphere, sometimes they're looking for more, aren't they? Where they think, you know what, I kind of hit the glass ceiling. I can't go any higher. or I no longer have the culture that I used to have at my office. I'm looking for something different. Could you send them, that individual, perhaps the text code think residuals, and when they text it to the number 85377, what they get is our 4-minute million video, and they also get our really cool residuals calculator. So that's a great one to share. You also have the ability of sharing the potential recruit presentation. It's a digital presentation in the Exit Realty Connect app. It's under Quick Leads. It's amazing. When you click on Quick Leads in the app, it'll take you to the potential recruit presentation that you can send. So good. So that might be an opportunity for that individual who's looking for something more in your real estate sphere. And then lastly, you can also point them to your provided agent sponsoring website. So yeah, we have a website where they can view information about what it would be like to join Exit Realty. What's the support look like? What do the tools look like? What would it look like to work at Exit Realty? So you could certainly point that individual there too. So in all, those 4 different areas, as a recap, I want you to think about this with meaningful engagement. 3 things, right? Number 1, quality versus quantity. And it's empowering to go to your CRM or go to your social circle or the people that you know in person and those real estate agents that you network with, and really think about who are the people that you really want to connect with. And it's okay to delete the others. It's really okay, because it's about leaning into those quality people. It's not about the number, okay, quality. Number 2, it's the intention. When you say to an individual, I want to follow up with you, or I want to be better, I want to provide more meaningful engagement, right? I want to be more intentional with our working relationship. It's your action, right? Your CRM, and you're engaging with them on social, you're connecting all the information they shared with you in person, and you're putting it into your CRM. It all works really well hand in hand, and it helps you deliver the action. So your intention and then deploying the action is really important, that you want to make sure to remember. Number 3, it's you're working with humans. Yeah, it's not leads. It's not connections on social. These are real people who have lives, who have dreams, who have goals, and it's really important to treat people with that human touch. And I hope that the many examples that we shared with you today are going to inspire you to put that big picture together, right, of ways that you can connect in a more meaningful way. There's a lot of contacts that you know. Again, people in your database. You've got um, people in your social circle. You've got people that you're meeting with day to day. You've got real estate agents out there in the industry who you can definitely tap in and network with as well. These are great ways, I believe, in helping you have more meaningful engagement. So here's what I'd love for you to do. I'd love for you, as a reminder, to text engage to 85377, as you see here on the screen, and email me. You'll have an option to email me. I would love for you to share with me, what is the value of your database? I bet it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to do a little drawing. So I will randomly, throughout the time, even for those that are watching the replay, I will put in a drawing for a Starbucks card. So definitely email me your value of your database, because it's going to be a pretty big number. And I hope that these strategies will inspire you to stay connected with them in a more meaningful way. Thank you so much for joining us for this month's Techinar. Continue to join us right here every month on the 4th Wednesday of the month at noon Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend in the industry. This is the only webinar that's done monthly where it's open to the public. And there are a lot of agents out there who would love the support. So make sure that you invite someone for the next one. In the meantime, make it a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining us, everyone.